In the dazzling world of entertainment, where cameras never sleep and every moment can be replayed, analyzed, and reinterpreted, there are rare connections that feel too real to be dismissed as mere acting. One of the most talked about dynamics recently is the undeniable chemistry between Deng Kai and Kong Xueer. What started as a professional collaboration has evolved into something that has captured the imagination of countless fans, sparking a question that feels both dramatic and irresistible. Was he somehow forced to feel that love, or did it happen naturally? At first glance, their interactions seem like the perfect example of two skilled performers doing their job exceptionally well. After all, actors are trained to create believable emotions, to embody relationships that may not exist beyond the script, and to convince audiences that what they are seeing is real. But what happens when it feels too real? When the glances linger just a second too long, when the smiles appear before the cameras even fully settle, when the silence between words speaks louder than dialogue itself. That is exactly where Deng Kai and Kong Xueer stand. There is a subtle intensity in the way Deng Kai looks at Kong Xueer, a softness that seems unguarded, almost unaware of the audience watching. It doesn't feel calculated. It doesn't feel rehearsed. Instead, it carries the kind of emotional weight that usually comes from something deeper, something that grows quietly over time rather than being switched on for a scene. Naturally, this has led to speculation. Some believe that such powerful chemistry must be the result of external influence. In an industry driven by expectations, storytelling, and audience engagement, it is not uncommon for productions to encourage stronger emotional portrayals. Directors may push actors to dive deeper into their feelings, to blur the line between character and self, to create moments that resonate beyond the screen. In that sense, force does not necessarily mean coercion, but rather a subtle, persistent pressure to feel more, to be more, to become the emotion. Yet, even with that in mind, something about Deng Kai's behavior feels different. There are moments that seem to escape control, tiny, fleeting expressions that cannot be scripted. A protective instinct that appears too quickly to be planned. A reaction that feels instinctive rather than performed. These are the details that make people pause and wonder if what they are witnessing is no longer just acting, but the emergence of something genuine. Kong Xueer, on the other hand, brings a presence that is both gentle and captivating. She has a natural warmth that draws people in, making interactions feel effortless and real. When paired with Deng Kai, that energy seems to create a space where emotions can develop organically. It is not difficult to imagine how spending long hours together, sharing emotionally charged scenes, and existing within the same narrative world could gradually shape real feelings. And this is where the idea of being forced becomes more complex. Because sometimes, no one is forcing anything at all. Sometimes, circumstances do the work. Proximity, shared experiences, emotional vulnerability. These elements can quietly build a connection that neither person fully anticipates. What begins as performance can slowly transform into something that feels personal, something that lingers even when the cameras stop rolling. Fans have been quick to pick up on this possibility. They analyze every interaction, every behind-the-scenes clip, every candid moment that slips through the polished surface of production. And again, they find small pieces of evidence that suggest authenticity. A laugh that comes too naturally. A glance that seems filled with unspoken meaning. A silence that feels comfortable rather than staged. Of course, it is also important to acknowledge the power of perception. The entertainment industry is incredibly skilled at crafting narratives that feel real. Editing, framing, and selective exposure can all enhance the illusion of intimacy. What audiences see is often a curated version of reality, designed to evoke emotion and keep people invested. In this context, What appears to be love could very well be a beautifully constructed story. But even if that is the case, it does not entirely explain the depth of reaction from viewers. People are not just watching Deng Kai and Kong Xueer, they are feeling something alongside them. And that emotional response does not come from nothing. It is sparked by something believable, something that resonates on a human level. So the question remains, who forced Deng Kai to feel that love? Perhaps the answer is simpler than it seems. Maybe no one did. Maybe what we are witnessing is the natural outcome of two individuals meeting under the right conditions, at the right time, with the right emotional openness. Maybe the force people are searching for is not external at all, but internal, a quiet shift, a gradual realization, a feeling that grows without permission and without clear boundaries. Or perhaps it is a blend of both worlds. A performance that began with direction and intention, but slowly evolved into something more sincere. A connection that exists somewhere between fiction and reality, where neither fully dominates the other. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is undeniable. The story of Deng Kai and Kong Xueer feels real enough to matter. It has sparked curiosity, inspired discussions, and created a sense of emotional investment that goes beyond the screen. And maybe that is the most powerful kind of reality there is, not one that can be proven or defined, but one that is felt, shared, and believed. Because in the end, whether that love was guided, encouraged, or entirely unplanned, it reached people. And that alone makes it feel real. So now the question comes back to you. Do you believe Deng Kai was truly feeling something for Kong Xueer? Or was it all just a perfectly crafted illusion? Sometimes, the most powerful emotions are the ones we can't clearly define. The ones that exist somewhere between reality and performance. But one thing is certain. Whatever happened between them, it felt real enough to reach all of us. What do you think? Was it love? Or just acting taken too far? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that blur the line between fiction and reality.